Hey guys, today we're going to take our first look at Explosive Chain Battle over on the global version of the game, and this is the first time it has come out, so, you know, I'm not too familiar with how it works. Obviously, I looked at it a bit when it released on the Japanese version, but first time ever actually experiencing it firsthand, so let's go ahead and jump in. I have done a fair bit of runs today already, so I've pretty much exhausted all of my good friends, as well as a lot of my good units that I use as connectors here, so if you guys aren't aware how this works, basically, whenever you go into a battle here, into one of these sessions, every time you use a connector, they're no longer available for the rest of the day, until I believe it's whenever reset is. And you can use stones to replenish your tries once your stamina is used up, and then once you do that, every time you use a stone, it refreshes your characters that you can use as well, and your friends. So that's like a big advantage you can get is by using stones. Who would have guessed? I know. So in terms of the attackers, this is going to be basically my thoughts and what I've seen in terms of looking at other people's basically combinations, because you can actually go over here to the battle info, and if you go over here to battle results, you can look at what other top rankers have actually used in order to get their scores. So the highest score is this guy at 96 million. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So click on here. He used Int Ultimate Gohan as his attacker. His connector for Super was Physical Ultimate Gohan, and his connector for Extreme was the STR Fat Boo. And you can also look at all this other stuff over here. What you can't look at, it looks like, is the, I guess, allies he chose during the actual fight. So that's a little bit annoying, but that's okay. My highest ranking, or my highest score right now is 93 million, so I think I'm pretty set on actually getting the top 1% once this is over. I don't know if people are going to get much higher than this, but we'll see. My setup that I used was STR Ultimate Gohan as the leader, or I guess attacker. This was the setup I used for my supporters. I wish this Gotenks was just another Gohan unit, because I think the best setup to use for the super units is just all Ultimate Gohans. And then I use this Ultimate Gohan as my connector. And then for the extreme units, I use this Boo as a connector, and then basically just a full Boo squad for the supporters. And I think that is the best way to go. You just use full Boos. What else we got? And then for the actual battle, I just picked those 3 Ultimate Gohans, which worked out really well. I got it in 0.81 seconds. There's also a little bit of a trick you can use to make it a lot easier to choose these units. I'll show you guys that in a second as well. So let's go ahead and actually jump into one. Now this is going to be like almost definitely a very bad run, because we don't I've pretty much exhausted all of my good connectors as well as friends to use for supporters, so this is pretty much just going to be a wash. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to use a stone to replenish everything, and then I'll show you guys what I think the actual best strategy is for you guys to try, whenever you have access to these good options that are popping up for you. So first off, I want to just talk about the attacker real quick. Now, I think the way that this works is this is going off of your attack stat, your character's actual attack stat. And because of that, I think the best unit to actually use is this Tech EZA Gotenks. I've also seen people get like above 100 million with the physical Gotenks as well. So, they're both really good options. You can use any of the Ultimate Gohans, the Int one, the Strength one. I think are the 2 best for Ultimate Gohans, but you can also, I think, use the AGL and physical. Or sorry, did I say the 2 best ones for Ultimate Gohan are Strength and Int, but you can also use the physical and AGL ones too. So I'm gonna try with this Tech Gotenks, and we're going to basically just look for a friend that I think looks pretty good. You can refresh from the bottom here as well. So we'll just pick this guy, and then my connector. You could just like see, because that chain tower bar, you want that to be filled up. You can just like sift through all these characters and see who fills the bar up the highest. I think typically my best connector out of these guys is probably going to be like this guy maybe. So what you can do is you can just go back and you can just sift through all these friends and see how fast the bar's filling up. Just like select them all, and you can see if the bar's filling up or not. So I don't know if we're going to actually get the bar to be filled up here. Doesn't look like we'll be able to. We can just refresh and keep doing it, but this might be the highest we can get it over here. Anyone else who's better? Doesn't look like it. So this is pretty much what you do, right? You just see how far you can get the bar filled up. So we'll use him. And then for the extreme, let's just pick this. And I guess we'll pick like you. That's not bad. Alright, we'll go with you, and then we'll just scroll through these a little bit more. Alright, well, this doesn't look like it's going to be too good. That one doesn't look too bad. Alright, we'll go with this one. Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be the best. Like I said, this run is pretty much just going to be a wash. So we'll jump in here, and I'll show you guys pretty much what you're supposed to be doing for the timed event. Not the event, the timed portion of it. You know, it's a little bit, I guess, cheesy, but you guys can decide whether or not you want to use it or not. So, got our full squad of Boos and Ultimate Gohans there, and then once the enemy starts rushing at you like this, you can actually just go like this. You can go like this with your phone, and this will give you more time to see what you're picking. So what I want to do here is I want to pick, you know, the STR Ultimate Gohan, the Int Ultimate Gohan, and the AGL one. So we're going to go ahead and pick all of those right now, and this is all happening when the timer hasn't even started yet. So like I said, this is a cheesy way to do this, but it does work. So we'll pick those Ultimate Gohans like that, and pretty much in no time at all it took us to do that, and that's going to affect how much damage we actually deal here, even though I don't think we're going to be doing that much damage just because our connectors and supporters aren't the best. So yeah, this is probably going to do like 40 million or something. It's not good at all, because most of the damage that you're going to be doing hinges on how good your supporters and connectors are. Yeah, 51, I mean, 51's not the best. Alright, so and then you can also click these thumbs up nice messages, and that will send your friend a message. I guess that I sent that guy one today. But the more messages you send to people, the more currency you will get. And you'll see people send you messages on the top right. You see how I got a new message over there? So I click on this, and I can click on these thumbs ups to get emblems, which will give me more pieces of equipment, so that's good. Alright, so let's go back, and I'm going to go ahead and use a Dragonstone. Let's go ahead and go like this. So now we get one extra try, but this is also going to refresh our supporters as well as our friends. So this should be a lot better of a run. Now, we can talk about what connectors you want to use and what supporters you want to use. So let me just pick a random person, but for the connector, see how some of them are glowing red? What that means is these are the advantageous characters down here. You want one of your connectors to be an advantageous character, and since we're going full Ultimate Gohan for our super supporters, we want one of these Ultimate Gohans to be our connector. Now, I don't really know if it matters too much which one you pick. I think I've seen a lot of people go Int. We can just take a look, like the links. Actually, you can't even look there. Let's go Int, and that's going to fill up our bar all the way, right? So what's the difference between Int and STR in terms of links? They have the exact same amount of links. This guy's not even awakened. Wait, yeah, he is. He only has 6 links? I didn't realize that. So I probably don't want to pick him because he only has 6 links. How about this guy? This guy has 7. So what does this guy have? All the family Kamehameha, blah, 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 blah. It's the same exact link set? No, this guy's only has 6 links. Yeah, so we'll go with the physical one because he's 7. We could also just go with this one. You know, it's not too bad. We'll go back here and we'll pick a better squad, a better setup here. I don't really think a lot of my friends are actually like have a very top tier setup. Ideally, you would just have a full squad of Ultimate Gohans. Let me keep looking here. This one's not terrible. You want a lot of the red flashing units in your supporter list as well. Oh, this is a good one. Well, some of them aren't rainbow. Rainbowing them does also matter as well. So keep that in mind. I think we'll just go with this one for now. And down here, we do want a full boost setup. So maybe we'll pick this one. And like I said earlier, you want the red glowing characters, which is this one and then this one. I think this Fat Boo right here specifically, the strength one, is the best connector you can possibly use for this. So we'll go ahead and pick him. Are there any other setups that are better? I think this is looking pretty good, honestly. This might be the best one. Let me just quickly take a look. You at the very least, you want both of those Fat Boos, the physical one and the strength one in your supporter list. But I think that's pretty much it here. So let's go ahead and jump in, see how much better we do with this setup. Alright. So, once he starts attacking me, we can just see what exactly we want to pick here. Hopefully we get 3 Ultimate Gohans, because that's the best possible thing we can get. So we're going to pick STR, Int, and the AGL1, even though the AGL1 is not Rainbow. I think that's the best setup, instead of picking the Strength one again, because he doesn't have Fierce Battle. Alright, so we got those. Let's see how much we end up doing. I'm curious. Is this going to be above 90 million? I think my highest is like 93 or something. Okay. Yeah, 91. Okay. So yeah, I think a way we could have had that go higher was, let's give this guy nice. I mean, this guy didn't have the AGL1 Rainbow, didn't have the SSR version of the STR1 Rainbow, didn't have the Tech 1 Rainbow. What about down here? Hard to tell. I mean, we have 36 categories for this. For the extreme one, we had 27. Typing, we had about the same, and then that's about the same as well. 0.5 seconds to get these. So this guy not being rainbowed actually does affect it as well. If this guy was rainbowed, I think he would have done a lot more damage. But that's pretty much how you get above 90 million damage in this, which should be enough for top 1%. I don't know if it's going to hold throughout the entire event, but it's a pretty safe bet to get at least, let's go take a look at the rankings real quick. It's a pretty safe bet that, 91 million around that is going to be good enough to get 2 to 3%, I think, if not just top 1% overall. So yeah, you guys can feel free to use that like time stopping mechanic. It's not even really a mechanic. It's just actually just like a cheese thing, but you guys can choose if you want to use that or not. I probably won't going forward. Just wanted to show that off in this video. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below if you have any questions about any of the mechanics in this. It's a little bit confusing at first because it's something that's completely different from the actual gameplay of the normal game. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Just something I want to add real quick. I just noticed this was actually a feature here. You can check the details of your chain power in here before you click, to actually go into the event here. So 36, 2, and 30 is what I have here. If I swap this guy out for the STR one, I have 36, 1, and 31. So you know what? I think it's probably better to use this guy. But you can, you can like change them in and out. So what is this? 37, 0, and 26. So definitely not the physical one. Let's see the AGL one. 36, 1, and 30 is pretty good. So 36, 2, and 30. I think the int one is probably the best bet here for this. And then you could do the same with the extreme ones, but I'm like 100% sure that the STR Fat Boo is the best connector there. So I just want to let you guys know that. I'll see you guys all later.